Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Taiwo again. Yeah, welcome to Everything Growth. It's your channel, a channel of growth. That we're here to always take one step forward and keep moving, keep developing ourselves. And we always know it's all about the mind. And today, I'm here to walk you through your fears and everything that you fear to make sure that you take it one step further towards your desired goal. Our topic today is limit the time it takes you to transition from idea to execution. That's a lot of English. Let me break it down. Limit the time or shorten the time that you would have to think of something and then do it. Because most times it's more about the limbo, more about the space in which we are overthinking and over planning. There's something they call it. I've forgotten it. What they call it. It's like some form of mental masturbation. Is it analysis paralysis or something? Analysis paralysis that you keep on analyzing something, different ways it's going to work and different ways it's not going to work, and then you get to it, and then you still fail at it, and then you go back to analysis, a lot of analysis. The world is has made a lot of things very much easier for us that we know that there are a lot of tools, there are a lot of ways and a lot of mechanisms in which we can put forth what we want to get and feel emphasis on failing forward because the idea is we all must fail through something. A baby must fail to stand, fail to walk, fail to crawl, to run, to jump, and all that. But the plan here is why don't you fail quickly and fail forward? We need to limit the time that it takes us to think of an idea and jump on the idea. Let me tell you one reason why. It's because you are not the only one thinking of that idea. Of course, this is not a zero sum game. Zero sum game meaning the game that there's a winner or there's a loser, but there's time. And that time is what you I must understand that is finite on this planet. So what am I saying? Let's give a practical example. Let's say you can make shawarmas, yeah? You're very good at making shawarmas and then you you say that you want to make a shawarma stand at a particular school or a junction or an estate, and then you kept on thinking about it. You have almost everything you need to do to make this shawarma ready, but you kept on thinking about it. What flavor would they like? How should I package it? What's the and then when you finally come up with the plan, you realize that the person beside someone has already made the shawarma before you. Now this is it can be a very painful experience because I've been in this experience before. You're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I can do this, let me do this. But eventually you find out that the amount of time it took you to get to start doing this thing can make sure that somebody else will have even done it before you. And then you start to feel the remorse that, what if I did this thing earlier? But the truth is, if you do something as quick as you think it, or as far as you've thought through, you get to execution, you will realize that there's so much more you still need to do, still need to learn, so much failures, so much challenges, so much experiences you still need to follow through. And if you do that, you build upon that. The way becomes clearer with each step you take. What does it mean? It means that you should not execute so much time in too much plan. You build upon your failures, you fail forward and you fail towards success, because everything worth doing has a lot of failures that has been done. Don't even look at it as failures, look at it as an environment, a mind map, whereby you understand what it is that will work and what it is that will not work. And as you understand that, you get good at what will work and faster at it so that you can get what you want. Hello, Enista, love. It's a pleasure. I'm the certified medical doctor. I'm here today to talk about growth and why failure is key for success. If you have any question, you can put it on on the live comments. You can also tell us where you are streaming from. What is the challenge that if you what is a project you're working on that if you put in more of execution, you can get so much in so little time. So that's what we're talking about today, Einstein Love. It's a pleasure to have you. Shout out to Einstein for being here with us. So I want us to also understand the concept that yes, there's another idea that you might have a lot of plans and you want to get something done, but you don't know if it's going to work. Here's what you do: you write down all your plans down. Write down all your plans. It could be 200, it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 2. If they're more than one, ask yourself, what plan right now? What is it in this list that if I do it, it will push my life very like 3 months ahead in the like make sure that I move further actively in the next 3 months. It's it's usually one thing. What is the most important thing? I used to say something, especially when I'm about to read for exams or prepare for something or for my career or for something. I ask myself, what is the most important thing for me right now? That in the next 3 months it will make my life significantly better than it is now. It's usually one thing. It's hardly more than one thing. Then I pick that thing, and then not that I pick it and put that paper. Not that I say that other things are not important, but that thing I make sure that every day I make sure I touch at it 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and the night. This works for me. A perfect example. Every morning when you wake up, you or if you're a morning person, I'm a morning person. If I, as a morning person, I wake up and I go at it 1 hour day, then the next time when I go to rest, I move at it again in the afternoon and in the night. And I find out that there's a lot of of magnitude or compendium of accumulation of what I can do or what I have done. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan, I just go straight at it. So many people say it's a little bit, it's not so good because you might make mistakes. But the truth about it is, we can't run away from mistakes. And the little mistakes we make would help us when it's time to make to avoid those big mistakes. I repeat, the little mistakes we make will help us so that we can avoid those big mistakes. It's just like there's a saying: if you sweat more in practice, you will bleed less. If you sweat more in practice, you bleed less at war. Meaning that the more you actually go through it, get through that, chip at it in practice, the day that you are supposed to do it and perform, you just notice that you perform better than you even did in practice. And then you would have gone further. Dancing for the day of performance, and then you work at it, and then you realize you only know 40% of it. Why don't we start now and start failing now? Why don't we fail, even if it's in our closet? Why don't we start failing in our closet? Why don't we start failing in our backyard? Why don't we start failing on the piece of paper? Why don't we start failing on the practice test? Why don't we start failing on that sound or that song we want to sing? Why don't we start failing on that dance move? Even though nobody is watching, so that the day you want people to watch, even because of the fact that you've done it 1,000 times, the confidence will be more than someone that's attempting it the first time. Because at the you have done it so much. When you face people to perform, you are doing it. There's a saying: we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to our greatest level of what? Of practice. I repeat, we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to the greatest level of practice. What does this simply mean? This simply means that it is what you are used to doing that when you are there's fight or flight, there's a response of fight or flight that you now know that that's where you fall back to. There are very few people that rise to an occasion in the sense that when you are faced with adversities, you do better. The human brain sometimes, when there's tension, does less. But guess what? What if you have been doing that thing so much that when you fall to that less, it's still a success? So the idea here is don't wait. There's nothing we're waiting for. You know that you can do this thing. Your mind might be playing on you that what if I fail? What if you succeed? What if you make it? What if you love it? What if you are great at it? In and there's also another concept is what is the worst that happen? The worst that can happen is that you would know where you are in terms of growth and success, and you build up on it. If you make less costly mistakes frequently, I repeat, if you make less costly mistakes frequently in practice, you would be able to make less mistakes in performance when it matters most. It's all about putting effort, chipping at it every day. There's a law of three. The law of three says, in time you use reading now, you want to read something and you want to memorize something. Per line or per concept, you go through it and try to get through it times quickly and move on to the next and finish up that topic. Let's just use as reading because I'm an academic. I love reading and I'm a medical doctor, so these things actually apply to me. And it can apply to almost everything. Run through the material 3 times or run through the concept 3 times and let it be. And if you can run through it 3 times a day, you would realize that at the end of the day, you've done that thing 9 times. And do you know that number nine is the number of completion? You realize you've completed it. There's no um, shortcut. There's something I read somewhere or I listened to somewhere. It says that everything is attainable to everybody. Everybody can do everything. But the thing here is, are you willing to go through the reps, the repetitions? Are you willing to keep on doing it till you see results? Because guess what? Most times when you are doing something, you would not see results at the very first instance. But at some point, you start to see it. Because if you're working on something and it's not showing, do you know what's happening? That thing is working on you. If you're working on something and the results are not showing, most likely that thing is working on you. And before you know it, you start to transform. We can only attract what we become, not what we want. So all these concepts just shows that the people, the Elon Musks, the Zuckerbergs, the Tiger Woods, the Lionel Messi, the Cristiano Ronaldos, the Michael Jacksons, name them, the Ben Carsons, all of them, these people are ready to fail. They have removed the anxiety towards failure. Excuse me. They've desensitized themselves to the worst that can happen towards failure. That I will fail. I will fail through this journey. So why don't I use it as my advantage to keep failing forward, keep failing towards that directed goal? Because if you say you're not going to fail, you would realize that you will still be in that same position in the next 20 years. But if you are failing forward, when you look back, you will find out that you are no longer where you were. And sometimes you realize that the thing that you wanted to do, you are closer to it than you are farther from it. Then it's just common sense or natural motivation to keep pushing. There's no benefit. There's no benefit. There's no benefit towards not pushing. Sometimes I watch some things online and I also get some experience with some great people that says that you can always push through. Sometimes when the tides are against you, that's when it will work for you. Sometimes when the tides are against you, that's when it will work for you. And you might understand that it is challenges, those challenges that can make you stronger. Because it's more like a lesson or a training. Follow used to say, most times there is no testimony without a test. You're going through a test, you're most likely certain there's a testimony waiting for you. You have this world is an arena. This world is an arena, is a play, is a work, is a canvas. Sometimes when you're painting that picture, sometimes when you're painting that picture that seems hard, that might be the art, that might be the masterpiece that you can show someone that this is what I have done with my life and this is the journey I have taken. Follow me, I know where I'm going to. I once said it somewhere, the world needs more people to help more people for free. But how would you help someone free if you've not gone through that experience? We need to go through experiences of life. Yes, it's hard. It is. But what if that this endurance we want to endure through something is going to help us to help somebody younger than us, our children, our friends, even someone older than us, you don't really know how much your experiences can help somebody. There is this zero sum mentality I've noticed among some people, that they say, if I went through this suffering, the people coming behind me must go through that suffering. If I suffered when I was young, you must. We must stop that chain of negativity. And why don't we make the world is designed? We are designed to make the world better for each other. So let me not digress so much. Well, today's topic is about failing forward. Yes, we've had this a lot of times, but if you've had this a lot of times and it has not changed your idea or what you think or how you behave, then that means you've not really learned it. And sometimes I put it to you that growth without change of condition cannot necessarily cannot necessarily bring out change of character. You cannot, if you constantly remain in the condition of comfort, or you don't apply yourself to the condition of um of uncertainty, you most likely cannot get the change of character. In summary, let's say you learn how to swim. You want to swim. You are trying to learn how to swim. You read all the books on swimming. You're on your bed. You've demonstrated. You've watched all the videos on swimming, but you've never entered the water. The very first day you enter the water, I promise you, it will be the first day of training, of the real day of training, of learning. So this means that there is no time towards saying that you want to get something or a new character or a new behavior without applying yourself to the conditions of that new behavior. When I was entering medical school, I met a man that he discussed with me that you're going to read a lot too. Before then, I didn't really like reading. I knew that I was smart, but I didn't really like reading. Even today, I'm still on the journey of reading. And then I noticed that I started it was in the medical school that that I knew that this condition of reading, this condition of learning is different from the condition that I would be in if I am in another place. If I'm at home, Einstein Love said they use failure as a form of motivation. Well, great as Mr. Taiwo, but I have to leave now. So sorry. No, no, no problem. It's a pleasure. It's actually Dr. Taiwo, and I appreciate you for staying this long. Thank you very much for staying, and I want you to let these thoughts be in your heart. Come back tomorrow, we'll continue. It's not because you've not had this before, it's because we need to hear it. Repetition, the reps, repetition gives an impression to the mind. It's not the first time we learned ABCD that we mastered it. So I appreciate you. The motivation, no more of a motivation, it's more of a mindset change. Our minds is just is the only thing. It's just like they say, the bottle, the vessel. Let's say like I give you a bottle now, an empty bottle, and then I pour water inside. That becomes a bottle of water. If I pour honey inside, that becomes a bottle of honey. If I pour, so it's the container, is the content of what we are, what our physical bodies look like, that can even make us to become some. Like as I am right now, I am a doctor, but I could be an artist, I could be a footballer. It is the content of my mind that makes me a doctor. The content of your mind that makes you who you are, uniquely who you are. So what does that tell you? That tells you you and I are all we're just the mind. The container, the body, the physical vessel is not is important, but it's not as important as this thing in between our ears. So we work on that, and we must every day shape it, hone it, define it. It's just like there's no vacuum in the universe. If you do not put something into the mind, something will be put in there for you. And I promise you, at each day we try to get better at something, we create more real estate, that place in that atmosphere to be better. So this is the idea. This is what we are doing. It's a growth page that is centered on your mind to walk us through the mind. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm trying to leave an impression. The impression we're trying to leave here is that you can do it. You can get a consciousness. If you walk around with a consciousness that there is no failure that doesn't lead to success, whatever you approach, you would approach it with that energy. Basically, that's a summary of what I want to talk about today. I love the fact that always come online, support me, and like, subscribe, and listen to this. It's not because you don't know this. It's because you see yourself in this discussion. You see yourself in these talks. You want to be better at something. You want to give back at something. You love. You understand the idea of giving back because there's something I noticed. If you give for free, you would receive in tenfolds. The idea of um, instant gratification has made us forget this the universal law that states if you give for something, if you give, you will get it back in tenfold. You will get it back in tenfold. But sometimes we don't know what we are giving. Some people might just be giving hate, discouragement, doubt, fear, anxiety, or spreading it all around. Why don't we try to give the difference? Give the opposite and see if you will not get back that. It's the butterfly effect of life. The more you give, the more you receive. And guess what? The universe will test you. Which field of medicine do you study in school? I'm studying pathology under medicine, and this life helped me. Thank you, doctor. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I am currently a medical doctor. am a medical officer actually, and permit I would like to work on the door. Somebody is knocking at the office. I'll work on it. I'll get back to us. I'm still live. I'll get back to us. So this is where I work. It's a pleasure, and I think someone wants to come in. Good morning, ma. So, as I was saying, I'm currently a medical officer, about to do my training in radiology by His grace, and in Nigeria though. But if I would be studying abroad, it would be psychiatry. Yes, it will be psychiatry if I will be studying abroad. But if I'm going to be in the country, Nigeria, it will be radiology due to the fact that I still love physics and the time it gives me to do other things like being live here. So basically, that's that. But I'm very much enthusiastic about the mind and the psyche of people and growth and the bandwidth of which the mind can expand to. Mind you, I did not come from a background I didn't come from an educational background. I didn't come from like a very studious environment. I didn't come um any serious motivation. I just realized that the more I stretched my mind, the more my mind stretched. And the more I thought about good things, positive things, the more I had the capability to think about positive things. And this bore fruit. I kept doing it. I was once walking through anxiety and depression. I I failed my way through medical school. I might have said that in some of my live sessions, but I'll say it again. It's my story, and I want to share it to the world to show that there is nothing you can't grow from. In every situation, every experience you have, you go through. That experience is what will make you defeat that exam or challenge in the future. So, in my 100 level, first level, I don't know how they call it in your school. I I Yes, I was the first doctor I passed. Second, 200 level, I failed. I had the receipt. 300 level, I had the receipt. 400 level, I had the receipt. Pathology, especially, I had a receipt in pathology and pharmacology. Then in my 500 level, I got. Can I say I wanted to pass? I really wanted to pass. I was in about group What's five? 8 group discussions at the time. And guess what? I was the only person in my class had a receipt. I was the only person in my class that had a receipt that they took me to class below to write that receipt, which means a repeat. So let's just say I repeated 500 level. During that time, I was traveling from 2 states. I was doing preparing for the receipt in one state. I was traveling to another state to continue my postings. We call it rural postings in medicine. Do you know that that was one of the most difficult points in my life? Because at that point in time, I had to make a conscious decision to become a doctor. It was as simple as I'm not doing this thing again. What kind of stress is this? I don't want to continuously be stressed out and thoughts, I'm not doing this again. But I kept on pushing. I kept on pushing and I passed. People were scared. Well, I knew I would pass because I had already made up my mind to pass. But the thing there was that I now realized that everybody's journey is different. Sometimes your journey is the journey that you would go through some things that when people are going through it in the future, you have gone in the past. And when you now meet those people, your colleagues maybe, you can help them through it. You can tell them that I have failed so much in the past. Let me teach you how not to fail or how to use your failures to become translate to cash it out into success. So that's that. Med school can be really difficult. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, but it's one thing I would tell you that you will learn from being in school or med school or any kind of school, pathology especially, is the ability to learn how to learn, the ability to look at a syllabus, face syllabus, and conquer the syllabus. That's just what we did in school. You can translate any other thing, but the summary of why you went to school and spent a lot of years is for them to be sure. One of the things is for them to be for the people that are giving it to be sure that you have learned the syllabus. But what you will pick from school is the ability to look at any syllabus from scratch and learn it to become a master. We forget this. Sometimes I wonder why we forget it. Why do we really forget? Why do we really forget that we can actually learn anything? You can actually pick up any book, any language. Yes, there are many things that might hinder us, but we can still learn it part time. That's one unfair advantage great billionaires have, like the Elon Musk, and they look at what Elon Musk did because he wanted to know how to wanted to send a rocket to space. See what he did. He went to the experts and they wanted to bill him and all that and charge him. They said, "Don't worry, relax. I'm going to learn this thing." He called people, professors and whatnot, the best books. He asked the right questions. He read the right books, and today today he has his own infrastructure of sending rockets to space. Do you understand that there's nothing we cannot do? Even the Bible said, "Let us change their language." This is God. This is what God said. Let us change their language because there's nothing these people put their mind to that they cannot get to do. The Tower of Babel, I'm speaking of that. Do you know what that means? That means that hmm, only takes time. It only takes time and it's some certain form of repetition slash effort. There's nothing you put your mind to do that you cannot do. It's weird. It's weird, but we forget that the world beats us. Forget the personality that we can do that. The world beats it out of us. Do you know that you are not even meant to stay in just one place for a long time? Children know that. Children know that we are meant to explore the mind, to use it, to touch things, to learn things, to explore, to ask questions, to learn language, to repeat, to to imitate people, to master. See, we as children we know that, but we forget that. So when you have learned that you can get back to that, you definitely you become an unstoppable human being. I'm very passionate about this. You might understand that I'm saying this with so much energy. But the point is, learn forward, learn forward, fail forward, make those mistakes today. Do those things that your heart is beating for today. There's a saying: when you are doing something your heart is beating fast, it makes you know that you are alive. It makes you know that you can do it, that you are coming towards another territory, a territory that is unfamiliar. But guess what? We are meant to dominate. Meant to come into a territory, subdue it, dominate it, and be and multiply it. Sounds funny, yes, but that's the truth. Oh, oh, damn! I stretched my phone so much. So we're meant to get into a territory, solve it, dominate it, and become fruitful and multiply. So in every sphere, and territory doesn't mean, I mean, move from Jamaica to Nigeria and conquer Nigeria. No, 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 no. The territory can be a new language, a new course, new story, a new social media. All these are territories. You do not have to be good at the first time. That's something I do not. You don't have to expect so much from yourself to be so good at something at the first time. In short, when you fail at the first time, it just shows you a mental map of what you need to conquer to become better at something in the future. So we must feel our way forward. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is the elixir of success. Failure is elixir. Don't be afraid of failure. Unless if you're a genius, I mean, and you're used to. And there's something about genius. I will not say I am a genius, but I'd say I am ready to fail way through the process. But if you're a genius, it can also work against if you think that if you are used to succeeding, you might not know how to maneuver your way through failure. But I promise you, there's nothing that failure will do to you. It's just a mental map. People will say, what do people say? Ah, look at me, I'm a person, I know these things, I have a reputation, so don't worry about that. The people that will say that thing, they will not say it tomorrow. They're not even bothered about it. They are bothered about their own shit. They are bothered about their own worries, about their own troubles. Everybody is in their head. The people that will say, oh, see this guy, you are not doing well, see what you are doing. After they say that thing, they will go. Some people even say just take energy from you. That's all. They don't really care about you. The people that care about you, even if they will say it, and sometimes they don't, even if they will say it, they will stick with you to find a way to make you better. So that's just it. Desensitize yourself of failure and the worst that will happen. Don't take so much of a risk that would cost your life, but every day take risks towards what you want. Keep taking risks, keep failing. This universe needs more people to fail and come back again tomorrow like they did not even fail. If you really anything that you've done that is worthwhile or is successful or whatsoever, there is this phase of failure, of nothingness, of not understanding it and mastering it. But the problem is when we conquer something, we are too used to that territory. We don't want to breathe from that territory to another territory and conquer it. Hence, it becomes a comfort zone. But you know one thing about the comfort zone? If you are ready to live in the comfort, that zone will be taken away from you by someone that is ready to conquer territories. Let me repeat that. If you are ready to live in your comfort zone forever, that zone will be taken away from you by someone that is comfortable in conquering territories. So it's all about conquering territories. It's all about getting better. Fail is necessary. We must feel our way through success. We must feel our way to success. We never really arrive at anything. All we do is conquer the territory, and then you say you've arrived. You've not. You just mastered that territory. Then you move to the next step. You conquer that territory and all that. I could keep talking all and all. I'm getting dehydrated. I want to drink water. Yes, I also sell. This is one of the things I make shirts. I sell sweatshirts, scrubs, suits. I do basically. I'm an entrepreneur. I sell even this eyeglass too. I do sell it too. It's a very wonderful one. You can see. So I make a living out of what I do. I make a living out of my life. I am a brand that will keep on making a living out of its life, and I want you to join this journey. Also, to the camera on, give back to people. Forget about profit. Forget about what you can get immediately, because what you can get is the audience. There's always an audience. There's always somebody that you can give that can lend you their attention. Yes, and attention is the new currency. If you did not know that, there's always somebody that can lend you their attention for the value that you can provide. Forget about money yet. Now, it's very important, but if you constantly give value, money will find you because people would meet you and you would impact in their lives, and then they would be like, what can I give you for this thing that you gave me? Like, what can I give you in exchange? And the only thing they can give money. But if you are looking for the money, they'll be like, why are you about this money so much? I can't give this money because I don't see the reason why. Do okay, you need. Why did you delete? Anyway, so for the books that I recommend, there are a lot of books. It's a compendium of books, but I would say, first book that I want you to read is um, Atomic Habits, Atomic Habits, and From Zero to One. These are two books. I can't really remember the authors, but I'll say it slowly. Atomic Habits and From Zero to One. These are books. Atomic Habits is one book. From Zero to One is another book. Yes, and more importantly, if you see yourself, if you want to become somebody, find somebody that is living that reality and become a disciple. Let me repeat myself. If you really want to become something, find somebody that is living that reality and become a disciple. Do you know one beautiful thing about this? The internet. You don't need to be a physical disciple of somebody. Go on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever. Find someone that's living your life. Follow that person. Turn the notifications on and watch what happens to your life in 3 months. You would grad pick nuggets on those things. You gradually behave like those people. You gradually leave beliefs that are not helping you, that those people have left behind, and pick beliefs that those people. So in a nutshell, people that I follow Myron Golden. He's a brilliant business consultant. I also follow this guy that I'll get his name and I'll send it on a group chat. I follow people that came from nothing and are a lot now and have readily opened up themselves as a brand to teach people how they did it part time at every level of their journey. Trust me, that's how to do it. In a time and age like all the books, you might not be able to read them, but what you can be able to do to shorten the time is to find a mentor, and a mentor might not necessarily even know your last name. So instead of really picking all, I know you might really love to read books, but follow these people. Ravan Avikant is one of another very good person. Ravikant, another very good person. And there are many people. Cody Sanchez is also wonderful. Brilliant people that are ready to purge themselves of how they made it. Release out there, get it out there. Einstein Love, I would like to know which country you are streaming from, and I want you to put it on the live chat. Thank you very much. I'm drinking water. I'm to be dehydrated. I love to drink water. It's good for the skin. So I believe we've communed a lot today. It's 40 minutes in, and thank you very much, Einstein, for being with me throughout this, and everyone that have come and left and are still with me. It's a wonderful thing. We know, we know nobody is perfect. We know nobody has their shit together. We don't need to pretend that. We don't need to let social media deceive us or whine us that I have this, I'm this, I have a marriage. No, because what somebody it aids digestion. Yes, it does. It does in the morning, and it gives. Honestly, it makes you. It even works on the skin. Everything. It's even a good mood. Drinking water, it's a good mood. I promise you, try that. It's a good mood. It reduces weight. It reduces stress. It it's the best. Anyway, we'll get there. So let's not fall into the trap of social media making us feel that we are not doing well because you are a consultant at something. Let me put it to you. You're a consultant at something right now on this planet. For you to have lived this long and survived this long, you have a unique set of skills, one, a unique set of experiences, especially experiences. You have a unique set of experiences that if your job is out there, that there are 10,000 people on this planet that will benefit from you right now. Did you know that there are 3 billion people on YouTube every day? This is not even TikTok that is blowing up. There are 3 billion people on YouTube every day, and most of the people on YouTube come to you to learn how to do something, to search how to get better, how to use it my phone, Samsung phone, how to get this setting, how to get better, how to read, how to sleep well, how to think better, how to make money, how to dance. Oh my God. There's no that people are not looking how to do. Right now, I promise you, 3 billion people every 24 hours will come on YouTube to the way, and at least 50% of them, most of them are coming for entertainment. Before they sucked into the tube of entertainment, most of them even find out, are looking for how to do something better, how to make this recipe, how to, why should, do you, so I mean, we do not even know that there's a lot of people that are looking for us, and our life's goal is to find everybody that is looking for us on this planet and give them value. I promise you, before you reach the 100th person, they're paying you for what you're doing, especially if it's a good thing. So that's summary. That's summary of all this. Put forth your gifts. Feel forward. Whatever makes you feel tense or anxious, just get to do work towards it, take a step towards it. Tomorrow you will take 2 steps. Next tomorrow you would probably run through it. Then one day you would wonder, why am I even afraid of this thing? And before you know what's happening, you are getting better, you are getting better, you are manifesting what you, because what we all want is in front of us, but there is an invincible, or can I say a black cloth or something blocking us. And the only thing that is really blocking us most times is fear. What will happen if I put this money into this? What will happen if I go to school? What will happen? Nothing will really, what will happen? The worst that will happen is you don't get what you want. And most things that actually is worthwhile not gotten at the first try. And if you just get used to this training, you become better. You become more. You would use your energy better every 24 hours. You just keep going. You know that yes, there will be. I get. I won't win some. I fail some. But either way, I keep moving. It doesn't change me. What actually you become is the becoming. You have. You will start to become somebody, a human being that is highly differed from what they really want to get, not easily, not easily, not easily defeated. You, if you defeat yourself every day, if you defeat yourself every day, the amount of people that defeat you every day becomes less. And I put it to you, many people are living this life on autopilot, and they are projecting their insecurities, they are projecting their fears, they are projecting their failures on other people. But if you have already defeated those fears, insecurities, and all, when somebody meets you like that, you will even be the one to project your success, to project your positivity, to project the fact that this is there is always another way. Before you know what's happening, you become an emblem or an oasis of positivity and success. You start sucking people. I won't call it a black hole. Let's call it a white hole. A white hole of positivity, sucking people into your mindset and giving out what your unique expertise and experiences to people for free. Start for free, but do not end with freedom for free. Because you get my point. Start by giving it for free. Find your audience, because audience is currency. The more you find your audience, it becomes a community. Let me tell you, nobody on this planet, especially if you are done with secondary school, you're now even in university or something, slash you're up to 20 years, there's some unique experience you've had in this life, that there's somebody somewhere in the world that is struggling with it right now. So look at it this way. Why not I go through this thing so somebody somewhere will benefit from it? Even if it is not an outsider, what of children? What of your loved ones? There are people, everybody needs help right now. Everybody, including myself. Mm. Including my, I need help. I might not even know the help that I need. That somebody on the group chat can just, on the live chat can just prefer. But I might not know the help till you profit. Then I know that I am deficient in this. That's something about this reality. People don't really know what they want to. They just think they do, and when they find out options, they choose the one that favors them most. In quotes, that is what they want. But if the options were different, they might have made a different choice. Let that sink in. So we owe it to ourselves to go through the motions. Forget if you have a let me tell you one way I use and I try to remove myself from the the strenuous the strenuous mindset of the process of going through something. I first of all know that I agree that I will fail through this journey. One, if I don't fail through it, loss. Then two, my battery is about low. I might have to stop now and probably continue tomorrow. If you really loved this, please put it on a group on the live chat that we should continue tomorrow. I would continue tomorrow. I love doing this. It comes naturally to me, and I love talking to you. So let me say this, then I'll go off. One, I know I feel through the journey. Two, I want to know everything that I will feel. The whole map, like this is all the things. These are my deficiencies. I want to know them quickly. So I want to go through it to the end quickly, very fast. Then I now come start picking each one and trying to get better, pitching at it and getting better. If your mind is mapped like this, I promise you, you will forget about the process. Like you will forget that the thing is a journey. What you'll be thinking about more is each step of the way to have a firm foundation in each step of the way. Then when you turn your back, you will not even know you have gone 1,000 miles. So you have to be sucked in what you are doing. You have to love it that much. There's a certain level of obsession, change in character. You have to meet yourself at a certain level of obsession. All the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Steph Currys, see Ronaldo, all of them, they were obsessed. See, they were obsessed about it. How can you this light bulb that we're enjoying now? Somebody there's a saying that is it Thomas Edison? Yeah, he had a lot of experiments. He failed a lot. If he was not obsessed about it, he would not have stayed till he got it. I promise. Obsession, good obsession towards a certain result will make you get the hours you even put in it. You understand? You want to you come back again, you try again, you come back again, you try again, you fail. The failure becomes a way of okay, this thing doesn't work like this. Let me try it another way. Okay, I need to do this way. Okay. Before you know you become a master. But don't worry about the process. Don't worry about the I don't know help me out here. Don't worry about the price you have to pay, can I say? Because that's what makes people don't like the process. Worry more about this thing that I'm doing now. How can I do it better and faster without thinking so much? Until next time, in between time, love yourself. Don't be afraid of failure. I love you deeply. I'll be here tomorrow. Trust God, fear God, keep moving forward. It's all about growth. We'll see tomorrow.